latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Real Story with Jeannie Ives, powered by Breakthrough Ideas, Sunday evening at 7 on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. Chris Kroc in for Dan Proft today and tomorrow and on Thursday. So thanks for filling in.
You're welcome.
Are you having a good time so far? Informational and humorous?
Always have a good time with you on this great station in my hometown. Always.
Yes. So Independence Day, commonly known as the 4th of July, a federal holiday coming up on Friday. How do you normally celebrate the day, Chris?
It depends.
Do fireworks with the family? What do you do?
Yes. Fireworks. You know, when they were younger, I have a buddy who has a massive piece of land in the outskirts of the Metroplex here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and he would get like 5 or 6 or 7 pallets worth of fireworks. I'm talking his. It's kind of a far-flung suburb now, if you will, but I'm not kidding you about this. His fireworks are literally bigger than the cities. You can see the cities over the horizon. It's a small city, exurb. Anyways, that was incredible going every year. He hasn't done that in a little while, but we would do that together as a family. You know, blowing off fireworks is great. I mean, I just can't believe, by the way, that Illinois cannot get your own fireworks. What an embarrassment. You know, light snakes. Oh, boy.
Yeah, right? Sparklers.
Yeah. Whoa.
They control everything we do in Illinois, so they control that as well.
Yes.
But 4th of July, it's a ratification, of course, of the Declaration of Independence, and it's a big deal. I mean, if I appreciate so much being an American living in this great country, and I feel as if a lot of people don't appreciate it. The people that are here illegally, that throw trash on the ground in Chicago and just leave it there, that sit on every street corner and beg for money, even though they have a phone in their hands that we paid for. They have clothes on their back that we paid for. And it's just a big hustle. And I just want them to appreciate, like, you know, what Arnold Schwarzenegger said on The View. He said this country, because they tried to get him, with the King's protests in L.A. about, ICE raids, and they tried to get him, I gotcha. And he said, this country has been so good to me. I came here with no money, and I became a bodybuilder. I became an actor. I became the governor of California. And the only place in the world that you could do this is in America.
We did a homeschool curriculum for my kids, and it's a Christian-based homeschool program, and it was in-depth, and it does the Charlotte Mason approach, which is living books. And my wife did all this research and stuff. And anyways, I was reading to my son. I learned more than I ever learned in public school about this country, about our history. I remember looking at my son, third, fourth grade, reading about his U.S. history. I said, can you believe this? I got goosebumps. I said, can you believe this? This country was never supposed to happen. This was never going to happen without the sovereign hand of God. There's no way this was going to happen. It was so ridiculous. Such a long shot.
Good. Well, with more on this on how to inspire America's youth to become more informed and engaged citizens is Dennis Leavitt. He's Chief Executive Officer with United We Pledge. Good morning, Dennis. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. Good morning to both of you.
Yes, thank you so much. So for those who aren't familiar with United We Pledge, what exactly does your organization do?
We're all about educating youth. I love listening to the two of you talk about the challenges that exist. There are solutions, and I think the solutions that are best are those if we can implant them deep in the hearts of the rising generation, right? We've got to have a group of young people who are passionate and interested, who are engaged and feel like they can continue to carry the torch of liberty on, that they can make a difference in this world. So United We Pledge is about educating youth primarily, inspiring them, helping them love this nation. And we use patriotic holidays like Independence Day that's coming up as a platform for lots of events focused on youth and teaching them and their families about the ideals you're talking about.
Yeah, you want to start, with the charters of freedom like the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution. But when kids are so hooked on playing, video games and are stuck on their phones, how do you get them to care about our country?
we actually run some school programs where we live. We decided that we can make a difference where we live, that if, there's this adage of just lift where you stand. We've taken that to heart, and the idea is in our little community, we approached school leaders, government leaders, and officials and said, we have some supplemental curriculum and supplemental event ideas that we'd like to help the teachers in schools and homeschoolers, private schools. So we offer this curriculum and activity-based experiences in civics and history that we take out to the schools, to children, and to families in our community. And so far, the success has been ridiculously cool to watch and to see the impact that it's making.
Yeah, because a lot of people, many schools struggle to effectively teach American history and civics due to limited resources and support. So do you go into public schools that are struggling?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we partner with, local businesses who are willing to sponsor and help. Teachers are overworked and underpaid often, and so we say we'll go out and we'll knock doors and raise the funds as a nonprofit. That's part of the responsibility we feel. And then we've created this beautiful curriculum that is in line with core standards in the state, but supplemental in its focus and really engaging in the Declaration, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights specifically, but in just this idea of civics. As technology, evolves and the world moves at a hastened pace, we've got to have a moral and a strong and a great group of citizens and leaders in order to manage all of the pressures that are out there, and in order to preserve this democratic republic that we all enjoy.
Dennis, Chris Kroc here. Who makes the curriculum for the educational materials you guys produce?
We do internally. We have a group of we have an education director who oversees that work. We collaborate with what we think are great constitutional experts from around the U.S. We're also talking about 5th and 8th graders, specifically, that we're really working towards, and so some gifted teachers and people who can communicate on that level. So we have, what we would call an advisory board who helps, but we work alongside, like I said, school boards and other things to just ensure that the messaging is really solid and that the schools will allow us to bring it in because it matches the core standards of our state.
And now,
in addition, sorry, Amy.
No. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, in addition to this curriculum, we also take actors and actresses into the school so that they go in as Jefferson and Adams, and we take a full school day assembly for our 5th graders and 8th graders and help them appreciate and let American history come to life. We also have a mobile exhibit. We worked with some sponsoring partners. We've taken a school bus, transformed it with TVs and iPads, and it's a cool exhibit that we take youth through and help them appreciate those charter documents. And then we have an awards program. It's really, in some ways, that simple, right? We give them a variety of things that they work on during the school year at home with their families, ideally. And then they can reach bronze, silver, or gold level. And then we shower them with certificates and medals and awards and pizza parties and T-shirts, and really encourage and motivate them to go the extra mile in learning about how to become a good citizen.
Now, in the first year of Give Me Liberty, how many students have you helped gain a deeper understanding of American history and civics?
Over 3,500 this year, and will expand significantly next year. So we're excited about it. I wish you could see these kids. I wish you could talk to them and have conversations. They're more articulate. They're really starting to get it. It's fun to watch the transformation of these kids as we really intentionally focus on American history and civics with them.
Dennis, one of the other things I like here in just reading about your program, your curriculum, you say, although our nation's leaders and history are not perfect, we recognize the U.S. has become the greatest nation on earth, which is so true. So it's a myth that conservative folk like myself, are shy away from the truth, whether it be about slavery and and such. I remember in the curriculum for our homeschool seeing the picture that I don't think I've seen before of the back of a man who was whipped as a slave, and those massive scars on his back. And my son saw that. It was very important for him to see that and to know that. You guys don't shy away from that.
No. Knowledge is power, right? We can't shy away from truth. We can't spin, the truth to have some narrative that's not accurate. But we're only going to help youth if they understand the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is a nation that was created under the hand of God. It was created as a more perfect union, not a completely perfect union, but the goal is to continue to make it more and more perfect as we go, learning from the lessons of history, not abandoning the truth of this nation's story.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes history can be ugly, and it is ugly, and sometimes it's violent, but you have to learn from it and not hide certain things. I remember when we were growing up, they didn't tell us about the Japanese internment camps during World War II.
Wow.
They completely skipped that because that made America look bad. Was there anything, Chris, that they skipped for you that you recall?
All right. I'm going to be honest, man. All I did was clown around. I somehow I passed. And I mean, you know what I remember? This is what's interesting. You guys have American Village, which you're building in St. George, Utah. My wife, her family used to live there, her grandparents and such. So I've been there. It's beautiful. And this reminded me of something. When I was younger, growing up in Illinois, we went to Springfield, and they have the village. They recreated a village like Abraham Lincoln. That I'll never forget that. That was exactly
impactful.
Yes, and I love that. Yeah.
So how far along in the process are you of, and I don't know if you're calling it Liberty Village or American Village, because they have one also in Alabama, correct?
Yeah, so we were inspired actually by the American Village in Alabama. Here in Utah, the name of the place is the Liberty Village. Okay. It's actually in Hurricane, Utah, Washington County. We love it. It opens phase 1 on September 13th. We're excited about that. We've been working hard now for a couple of years. Some of your listeners, I hope, may have even heard the name Liberty Village in the past, but we're right on the threshold of opening phase 1. We're excited about it, and exactly what you're describing, Chris. It's this place where you can come and be immersed in the story and have it feel real and authentic. But it's a place for teaching specifically for youth and families, visitors and guests. Yeah, we're excited about the Liberty Village.
And you have actors walking around, correct, to interact with the people who visit?
Yeah, that's right. It's stepping back into the 18th century. It's a chance to, again, have conversations with those folks who are the fabric of the American story, and we want to have people be able to engage with and talk with, and we want them to stay in character so it really feels like and is a part of the experience of having those kind of conversations and dialogue. We do one thing magical that we think is very important because there's this kind of barrier. If I'm Jefferson, I can't talk about the internet with you, right? I don't. He didn't get it. He wouldn't have any way to have that.
He didn't have a cell phone.
He didn't know what a QR code was.
He didn't have a laptop or an iPad.
There you go.
QR code.
So
hate QR codes. Oh, that's great. When I remember because
with every reenactor, we have a modern guide. And we try and use as youthful a guides as possible. I love gray hairs. I am one of the gray hairs, but I want young people to also have a passion for this nation. So we put a modern youth guide next to every reenactor so that there can be dialogue back and forth that's applicable to our day, right? What's the lessons we learned from Jefferson? What do we glean from him? What do we improve upon? And we have to have a youth guide who breaks that barrier because Jefferson's not going to break out of the 18th century at Liberty Village.
That's great. And I remember, I cannot remember his name, but the gentleman who ran from American Village to where Liberty Village is going to be in Utah, he did 76 marathons back to back, correct? He had to raise money.
His name's Tom Jones. Yeah, Tom Jones
right.
did that. And he started on Patriots Day, April 19th, and ended on July 4th. So 76 consecutive marathons across the U.S. And that was for us to raise awareness about Liberty Village and to start the fundraising process, and just to say we're going to take something that we were inspired by, we're going to move it forward and continue to build upon good things in America.
Liberty Village is in St. George, Utah, which is on the way to Zion National Park. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is when my wife and kids and I were driving, and they're like, if you go this way, you're going to pay a $15 or whatever. And then everybody goes there anyways by accident, and then you go through Mount Zion. So that's kind of by where Mount Zion entrance, which is a beautiful, unbelievable natural park or U.S. park. That's like you're on Mars almost, right?
Yeah, we live in National Park region in the West. It's beautiful red rock country. Doesn't look a thing like the Eastern Seaboard in some ways.
No.
But the story of America is varied, so we don't have to have necessarily Eastern Seaboard looks in order to focus on American history. Zion National Park attracts millions of visitors every year. Our county has 6.5 million visitors. We want to tell that story to them, so we think this is a great destination spot for the American story, and will inspire a lot of people.
Yeah, you can go learn about our great history and then go hike in Zion. It's a perfect idea. I know that you always need help, donations to, have kids gain a deeper understanding of civics and all of that. And how can people help? Where can they go?
Of course, we're a 501c3. Our website is, we have two 501c3s. UnitedWePledge.org, that's our school outreach program that we're taking this message to schools. And then LibertyVillage.org, that's this destination where visitors and guests can come and be immersed more in American history. We'd love folks to donate. Of course, anything that you donate is so helpful to helping these kids gain the deeper understanding you're talking about.
Well, we appreciate the great work that you do, and thank you so much for your time, Dennis Leavitt, Chief Executive Officer with United We Pledge. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks. Happy 4th of July. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Hey, I'm Steve Wyatt, and I want to invite you to the Wyatt Matters Show, which airs every Sunday on this station. You can expect lively discussion and heartfelt reflection that will both entertain and inspire you. And if we do it right, maybe deliver some genuine laughter as well. We talk about not only what matters, but also why it matters.
Wyatt Matters. Sunday morning at 6 on AM 560. The Answer.
Honey, we're not moving, but we gotta do something about this kitchen.
Funny you mention it. I just stopped by Forever Remodeling's new showroom in Niles. I saw over a dozen kitchen and bathroom layouts they designed. They even offered to stop by the house and give us a free in-home design consultation.
What'd you tell them?
That we're free today?
Visit foreverremodeling.com today. That's the number 4, everremodeling.com. Forever Remodeling, stress-free and high-quality remodeling.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire.